Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader. We are on Quetzalcoatl trying to find the Winterscale guy. He's here somewhere. Oh, looks like we got some goods here. Maybe. There we go. Let's see. Drukhari weapon. Crucible of Torment. Interesting. What does the gold plus mean? I feel like that's a new UI element that was added in a patch. Does it, like, tell you that it's a unique weapon of some kind? We won't be able to use that weapon, but still. The bodies of the Eldari were hacked to pieces with extreme brutality. Their wounds indicate it was done by a power weapon of some kind. The soil under the bodies has turned to rusty brown from the gore. Lovely. Alright, so this is the way we came in. So it looks like we only have one way out. I mean, as far as we can tell anyway.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Quite a few hours pass before something worth noticing finally shows up amid the dense forest. A pile of charred human bones, lying in a shallow pit, and in front of it, like a standing stone, a broken fire cultivator with melted nozzles is stuck in the ground. Other corpses can be seen in the grass nearby, just as old and charred but distinctly non-human. Scattered alongside these are Xenos weapons covered in dirt. Some of the weaponry appears to be in working order, so it is still possible to get some use out of it. Okay, we got barbed needles, shatter shards, and a splinter pistol. Oh. You did take an injury. Why doesn't it show up here? That's weird. It should show up here. Let's see. Okay, agility and movement, that's not the worst one she could get. Honestly, that's not bad. She doesn't have to move a lot,
I
so
always have a backup plan.
it could have been a lot worse.
Are we definitely back? Could this be another kind of torture cooked up by Valancius? Some twisted dream?
Ooh, that's a scary thought.
Kamora tested us all to our limits, and I am glad that I withstood the trial. It means that it is too early for me to retire just yet.
Okay. 2 pathways. Alright, this is where the maze is going to start coming in, huh? Oh dear. Wish me luck. Dweller of the Forest. The forest is our home, but the forest is angry. Speaks with gods will appease the forest, and we will live as we have before. Sure, buddy.
Is there money to be made?
Okay, they got a little settlement here in the middle of nowhere.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
A group of lean young people surrounds you, shooting anxious glances between you and the gray-headed elder who has stepped forward. Unlike the rest, her skin is completely free of decoration, save for the two-headed eagle branded on her wrinkled forehead. Speaks with gods foresaw our meeting, Starborn. The woman's accent grates on the ears. Her words sound like a fusion of High Gothic and the most vulgar tongue of the rabble. Welcome to the heart of the forest where leads ahead, and her tribe have dwelt ever since the rule of Quetzaltemer himself. This ruler has ordered her tribe to prepare a feast and warm shelter for our Starborn guests. Please make yourselves at home. Why do you call me Starborn? Because you are the Sky Herald of the Eagle God, created by him from the stars' glow and the night sky's darkness, the one who carries his seal in your image, clad in the armor of our ancestors' most ancient prophecies. Come again? Who are you? We are the children of the Fiery Mother and the Pale Father, who look after us day and guard us by night. The faithful servants of the two-headed Eagle God, who shields our lands from misfortune with his wings. We are the ungone forest-dwelling children of the earth, and the guardians of the Temple of Quetzaltemer, the first Starborn to have ever set foot on the virgin soil of this land. The Eagle God, you say? Is it his brand that is burned on your forehead? Oh yes, he nods respectfully. Many seasons have changed since this ruler received the Eagle God's blessing and became the leader of this tribe. Only those close to the gods are allowed to bear their brands, and the ruler is one of them. These lost souls have forgotten the true image of the God Emperor. The only reminder they have is the sacred Aquila. Argenta shakes her head sadly. Caligos Winterscale should concern himself with educating his worlds, instead of indulging his craving for the hunt. I thought that Quetzaltemer was the name of this place, but you speak of it as if it were a figure from the past? The legends of this place claim that a long time ago, the first among the Starborn descended upon this world, together with this ruler's ancestors, created the ancient cities and temples, and brought the blessings of the Eagle God unto these forests and lands. The fast-flowing time has erased the Starborn's name from the minds of the people. Only his title remains, Quetzaltemer, the first of the chosen, the Sky Herald of the Eagle God, and the father of the tribes. The flow of time is truly merciless to the meager memory of peasants. Cassia lets out a weary sigh and slightly rolls her eyes. According to the works of the archivist Zachary Fane III, Sebastian Winterscale was the first to discover this world for the Imperium subjects. And half a century after, an ark descended to the planet's surface, the Quetzaltemer. Over hundreds of years, the limited minds of the rabble have invented their own twisted memory, one of the colonists' descendants still believe to this day. I'm sorry, but was my coming here foretold? Like you've never heard that one before, Lord Captain. Oh yes, speaks with gods as the priest of this tribe and this ruler's half-brother. He listens to the forest and calls to the earth, wards off the punishing lashes of the skies, and speaks to the Eagle God on behalf of our tribe. Before disappearing in the wandering forest, he told this ruler to prepare for your arrival. Okay, what else did Speaks with Gods predict? The Elder's gaze darkens. Quetzaltemer is enraged by the invasion of the spirits from the darkness that have called a rain of fire and metal upon this world. He demands blood, and blood shall sate the soil. No matter the path chosen by the gods who have come to right the wrong. The spirits from the darkness. So that is how the Monkey of this world see my kin. As invaders, a calamity. Yrliet lets out a strained sigh. These Monkey have neither teeth nor claws. They are not even aware of the most basic technologies that your kind uses. So then why do my kin burn their world so fiercely? The Elder recoils in fear after making out Yrliet's true face with her half-blind eyes. The Starborn will be accompanied by a spirit to put an end to the misfortunes of this world. Thus spoke the priest. Seeing a spirit among the living is wrong. Spirits should stay in the spirit realm, and humans in the realm of the living. Okay. How do you even survive in these forests? Speaks with gods hears the whispers of the leaves and can commune with the tree spirits. The entire tribe participates in his soothing rituals, and that allows this ruler and her people to tread on safe paths. You think that several gods have set foot on Quetzaltemer? This ruler has already had the honor to greet a Starborn, as strong as a saber-toothed boar, as nimble as a forest jaguar, and as wise as the three-tongued guardian snake. Like a whirlwind, he charged into Quetzaltemer's forest, chasing the spirits from the darkness that had descended upon the world 3 10-day moons before. Okay, that's Winterscale. The Starborn had lost his priest in battle. so he ordered this ruler's brother to help him trace the spirit's footsteps and cleanse Quetzaltamer of their filth. Okay, so maybe, his bodyguard is already dead then, it sounds like. But when Speaks with Gods left his home, something enraged the forest. Thus, both the Starborn and this ruler's brothers were trapped by the ever-changing paths and lurking evil spirits. The powers of my kin may have disturbed the wild flora of this world, which then concealed the remnants of the children of Krudarok from the wrath of your rival. That means that they are somewhere in the forest, surviving, hiding, preying on one another. Okay? Do you know where they are now? The woman shakes her head. The Eagle God Sky Herald wanted to find the den of the spirits from the darkness and destroy it. But the forest of Quetzaltamer is as endless as the skies above. Where the sky touches the forest's edge, the Deadlands begin. The realm of the dead, whence there is no return. Something is calling. It's calling and calling. Adira covers her ears with her palms and forces her eyes shut. There, in the place of no return, sits the shadow of one who is both alive and dead at once. The voices are calling me there, calling so desperately, but why? Why? The elder looks at Adira with genuine reverence, nodding slightly after every word, her mouth half open. This ruler's brother did warn that a priestess from the stars would descend upon this ruler's land in her search for answers. Just as he said, she would wish to head down the path of death to find reincarnation. I wonder if Adira and Yurliet's quests might conflict with each other by the end of this. How exactly do we conduct the soothing ritual? The ritual requires a site imbued with the powers of Quetzaltamer, the heart of our village, and a priest to perform it. Alas, the fire rain claimed many of this ruler's priests, and thus this ruler's tribe can only pray for the mercy of the Eagle God and his starborn Sky Heralds. Don't look at me, Lord Captain. I don't know the first thing about this priestly grockswash. It doesn't take a diviner to realize that I'd fry my brains if I tried to mess with some weird ritual, and that's if we were lucky. If weren't not so lucky, I'd end up frying everybody else's brains. Doesn't sound too promising, does it? Nevertheless, this ruler knows that you will bring Speaks with Gods home and soothe the forest of Quetzaltamer. The prophecies of the priest have never betrayed our tribe before, and thus this ruler asks you to forget about your worries and rest here in the heart of the forest. Okay. Sure, we'll rest. It is an honor for this ruler's tribe to serve you, O Starborn. Follow the path of lights and you will find your shelter, food, and water. When you decide that it is time to follow the priest and your Starborn kin, this tribe will pray to the Eagle God himself for your success. This is weird. This is weird. She who leads forward. Okay, can't interact with that.
Let us not dawdle. Keep your wits about you. I always have a backup plan.
Ooh, okay. What's this? The Children of Quetzaltamer Chronicles. An analysis of the canvases made from wood, bast fiber showed that the chronicle has been recorded for at least 500 years. The older chronicles tell of a bleak historical period of the tribe's decline due to an unknown virus. The symbols on the canvas resemble High Gothic letters, but the inhabitants do not know the origin of their meaning, claiming that the sacred knowledge was bestowed upon them by Quetzaltamer himself. This character, revered as a god, obviously originates from the Imperium that we know, his exact name either lost or adapted in accordance with local phonetics. The only other sacred symbol the tribe reveres is the Aquila, the two-headed eagle god. A group of the most interesting canvases depicting tragic yet heroic deeds was confiscated and taken on board for further investigation. Many of the words made up from the scrambled Gothic symbols were easy to decipher, such as banished, sacrifice, valley or land/lands, as well as death, incomprehensible and merciful. This part most likely talks about some sort of sacrificial pilgrimage. A priest has confirmed my theory. Any tribesmen who have committed an offense can atone by sacrificium, a journey to the Deadlands full of unknown deaths. The adepts that I have sent to investigate the Deadlands have not returned yet. Okay, this place is wild. All right. Okay. Seems like entrances and exits to maps are mostly one way. Okay, there's nothing else over here. Oh, let's check back here. Okay, just a dead end.
I always keep my options open.
Part of the forest is obstructed by a thin gray veil emitting barely audible clicks. The translucent curtain ripples and starts moving in the direction of the rogue trader. Upon closer inspection, the veil turns out to be woven from many threads, carried by fast-flying bugs. The hive attacks the intruder, then retreats into the foliage, leaving behind burning, itching bites and wisps of shredded web. Ugh. Don't love that. The vicinity of the carefully erected place of worship is quiet and peaceful. This thing here has a weird energy to it. It's lulling. Can you hear it? You can't? Even my voices have fallen asleep. Ooh, 38% on that? Not great.
I have learned much in my exile.
Okay, well at least we can see that now, I guess. Jeez. Alright, is that the only thing on this map? No, it looks like we can go further down.
Always keep your eye on the
sense
prize.
something nearby.
What is that? Loyalist? No. Drukhari equipment. Cabalite. Okay. Decayed Drukhari remains rest amid the forests of Quetzaltamer, along with this world's sorrowful past. What did that do? Got an elite blast pistol and modified crack grenade? That wasn't from this, right? That was from doing whatever we did there? Okay, so we've got that. That's where we came from, and we've got this. The irresistibly sweet aroma of fruit teases the rogue trader's olfactory senses, especially after so many hours spent in the stuffy humidity of the forest. After locating the source of the aroma, he decides against tasting the appetizing fruits. Several mummified corpses lie under the fruit trees, their withered faces a testament to their agony, their bodies covered in dark wounds resembling the bites of giant leeches. Man, this place is a goddamn nightmare. Okay, our trail is gone. Judging by the traces of blood, the Xenos attacked the camp from high ground, reluctant to get too close. The markings on the containers date back about 500 Terran years. Inside them are decayed remains and unusable equipment. Caligo's Winterscale set up camp on the remains of an ancient military encampment. Okay, so at least we know he was here. It's something, I guess.
As it should be.
The camp was routed. Was it the fury of my kinspeople? They fought monsters from among the monkey, only to become no different from monsters themselves. Okay, another 40% here. Didn't go so well last time. Let's see if we're luckier this time. Boom. A Carapace Elite Backpack. While the wearer's weapon has 4 or less base rate of fire, the weapon's rate of fire is increased by plus ballistic skill bonus divided by 3, and its recoil is doubled. Okay, interesting. While the wearer's weapon has 5 or more base rate of fire, hit chance of the wearer's burst attack is increased. This might be something we want on. So, hold on. We'd get more recoil on you right now if we did this. Oh, it goes in the cape slot. For every kill, the wearer increases their critical hit chance by 5% until the end of combat. That's pretty good too, though. Let's see. Ballistic skill bonus, 9 divided by 3. So you would gain 3 more on your bursts. But we double our recoil. Huh. I should try this. So she should have a rate of fire of 6 now. But honestly, like, that would be a lot of reloads. She'd only get 2 bursts out, but... Alright, well, we'll try it. We'll try it and see if we like it. We'd have to reload a lot more, though, which might be problematic. A putrid stench of decaying flesh comes from those enforcer bodies that haven't been torn apart by local wildlife. Okay, we can go out that way, and we can go out that way. Wait, check the map real quick. Okay. Bayonet chain knife. When the wearer attacks a target with any ranged weapon in a 1-cell range, that attack inflicts bleeding. Okay. Probably won't use that. We failed. Pile of mutilated bodies with cut tendons and shattered bones. Oh, more Eldari. Oh, is that Winterscale up there too? No, that's Wharton. So Wharton is still alive. Where is Winterscale? Okay, that's Winterscale right there, correct? So he is with them. Who's he traveling with? Who's this guy? Wharton the Grey. Don't sheath your axe yet, my lord. More game rear their heads eager to lose them. The mountain of muscle next to the laughing rogue trader menacingly rolls its shoulders. You recognize the hulking man as Wharton the Grey, arch-militant to Caligo's Winterscale, who accompanied his master to your Magnae Accessio. Caligos briskly turns on his heel. The blade of his power axe shines threateningly in the sun, covered in fresh blood. Upon seeing you, he breaks into a bloodthirsty grin. You repeat yourself, Xeno scum. Do you really believe that I will fall for your trick twice? O Starborn, graciously allow this priest to speak. The one before you is not. Silence. Caligos barks at the old man, his eyes blinded by blood and rage. I did not feed you to the forest beasts for one reason and one reason only. You may still be of use. If you do not want to die with these Xenos, shut your mouth. Lord Caligos must have lost his mind. Why else would he mistake the Lord Captain for an enemy of humanity? Abelard lays a hand on his weapon apprehensively. Let's see. I am here to return speaks with gods of the village and pacify this forest. Caligo squints suspiciously. How do you know the old man's name? Has he been a spy for you this whole time? Speak. As Caligos bares his teeth ominously, the old man quickly starts whispering something into a strange seashell-like adornment he wears. Brown sparks flash in Caligos' hair, and a cloud of steam suddenly bursts from your mouth. Loathsome old twig. Caligos angrily shakes his head, trying to throw off the Psyker's spell. When your gazes meet again, recognition dawns on his face. Is that you, New Blood? Fancy meeting you here. What in the void are you doing on my world? I am here to resolve your conflict with the Eldari with as little violence as possible. Then you're somewhat late, Vernacular. As you can see, the hunt has already begun, and this time it's not even my doing. The prey came to fill my hunting grounds by itself. So how could I resist? Caligos laughs without a shred of restraint. You know your lordship, Von Valancius. Why don't you join in the revelry? I'm not greedy. This world has enough trophies for the both of us. Ooh. 60% on this. Let's try it. Assess his condition. We failed. Ugh. Ooh, that's rough. Okay. On your first meeting on Dargonus, Caligos Winterscale appeared before you in a much more favorable light, brilliant, collected, steadfast. Now his hair is tangled, blood and dirt cover both his face and hands, and his armor has been tarnished by the humidity of Quetzaltemer's forests. I mean, he's been here for a month, so... Instead of a dazzling smile, the rogue trader's face is darkened by a sinister grimace. Inspect the retinue. The thin old man looks on with trusting violet eyes, and you notice silvery sparks glimmering within. His thin body shivers from the slightest gust of wind, yet you can still sense the power contained in his elderly frame. He nods with a meek smile. Okay. Majos Gilenia Zeta. A panicked Beneric trill escapes from under the tech priest's hood when one of her mechan dendrites goes limp, sparking in multiple places at once. The servant of the Omnissiah gently picks it up and warily wields her combat tool until the manipulator starts moving again. Trevor Cassini. The tall navigator in ragged clothes of silk and silver proudly wears the coat of arms of House Cassini. Half of his face is ruined by a fresh scar left by acid. In log vernacular Von Valancius, the navigator nods politely. He tries to hide it. His voice is filled with pain and suffering. Mercenary Slith. Hiss. The Slith mercenary looks around viciously, frantically clutching their weapon. Their body is peppered with wounds, both old and new, some rotting and some almost healed. Their yellow pupils narrow when you lock eyes, but the Xenos quickly loses interest. Okay, succeeded an awareness check. Wharton the Grey has not changed much since your last meeting, still the same brute of a man with bloodshot eyes and a dull expression on his face. However, unlike Caligos' other servants, the arch-militant does not look exhausted, and neither does Caligos. Both are filled with rage and thirst for battle, as if the hunt has only just begun. Okay, those are the two to worry about. I should like to ask a few questions about your presence on Quetzaltemer. Really? And I should like the tenderest sea serpent steak and a bottle of Calixian Amasec. What misery! For 10 moons already I have been forced to subsist on grass, roots, and insect larvae. Caligos growls restlessly. Save your questions for later, Vernacular. I'm not talkative when hungry. Let's find a way to the old man's village, and then I'll give you your audience. The old man guiltily lowers his head. The forest home of this priest and his people had always been full of wisdom and life, but the fire rain called by the outsiders from the darkness, one great moon and one small moon ago, angered the forest spirits. This priest must find his way home to the heart of Quetzaltemer and perform the soothing ritual alongside his tribe. Until he does, the spirits will suffer and twist the trails. Until he does, the Starborn will not be able to return to the stars. Okay? You have already destroyed 4 Xenos ships. Is that not a great victory in itself? Cease this hunt and I shall make the Xenos leave your worlds forever. Wharton. Retreat when the enemy's bones already crunch underfoot? Wharton sneers. Alien blood must flood the lands of Quetzaltemer. Only then will the Xenos have paid for their insolence. Caligos Winterscale. Persuasion succeeded. Quiet, Wharton. This hunt truly has dragged on for quite some time. The ever-twisting paths, the paltry game, the dullness of it all is suffocating. The rage on Caligos' face changes to Dejection. Goodness gracious. I may accept your proposal, Vernacular, but only when I am certain of the destruction of the remaining enemies. Of course, that's assuming we find them in this accursed forest. Annoyance and malice drip from Winterscale's every word. Yeah, I was trying to get you not to kill them all. Actually. Yurliat gives you an intent look and curtly nods. Her shoulders relaxing slightly. What does that mean? Is she okay with us hunting the Eldari here? What? What's happening? Alright, well, I'm not going to say that. Then the first order of business is to return the priest to the heart of the forest and calm its rage. I'm lost on what's happening here. Well, what are you waiting for, new blood? I wandered these forests for 30 nights and did not find the way to the old Twigs village. We'll see if you bring us better luck. Move out. Okay. So the priest is a powerful psyker. That makes sense since he's, been called like a seer and whatnot. Okay. A sweetish smell of decomposition comes from the woven baskets. For whatever reason, the fruit was left to rot under the scorching sun.
What is it?
Rise to the top, or get left in the
Dead
dust.
end over there. So only one way back. That's the direction they came from. Halfway through the day, the rogue trader discovers a new wonder of Quetzaltemer's forest, a spacious stretch of land overgrown with reddish-brown grass covered in sickening yellow blisters. Lovely. No other plant can be seen among the red blades of grass. The answer to this mystery may have something to do with pale, spider-like insects crawling on the underside of the blades. Don't love that. A putrid stench. Oh, this is back on that same map. Okay, we still can't go backwards this way, so this is our way forward now. The trek among the monotonous forest landscapes is becoming dull. The rogue trader's weary eyes are ready to close of their own accord when the usual sounds of the forest are interrupted by a blood-curdling scream. The cries are drawing closer and closer. Then their source finally appears, a small creature with slick black fur and a long tail. As if mocking the rogue trader, it lets out another piercing cry and scurries away, its yellow hindpaws winking between the tree branches.
Oh, too hard for a simple monkey.
Don't be mocking here, Liette. Okay. Arch-Militant's Hood. Each of the wearer's critical hits made with a ranged weapon increases their melee weapon critical damage by strength bonus until the end of combat. Okay, so that's good for somebody who can do both ranged and melee. We don't really have somebody who's built for both right now. So I'll never use that, but that's okay. Time-worn Imperium breastplates and chainswords are gleaming amid the mummified remains.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
My success was inevitable.
Okay. Someone repurposed old containers to build a ceremonial tomb. The remains of Imperium soldiers were placed inside a long time after their death. Ah!
You interrupted my thoughts.
Okay, we'll just get rid of that. Okay, 2 ways out there.
Who thought that was a good idea?
What do you mean? It was a great idea. It worked. 2-handed ranged weapon. Is that a sniper? It is a sniper. Might actually be better than the one we've got. Dodge reduction. If Deadeye shot, using this weapon deals critical damage. It stuns the target for 1 turn. So it's guaranteed crits? And a stun? No, if the Deadeye shot deals critical damage. Alright. That's a weird way to construct that sentence. Using this weapon should have just been taken out. If Deadeye shot deals critical damage, it stuns the target. Okay, gotcha. I think your Liette technically is built for crits more than my character, but it's not the right weapon type for her, so... oh, we're not in the weapons. There we go. Okay, 30 to 40, more damage, more armor penetration. So the sharpshooter rifle, what does it offer in its bonuses? Deadeye shots fired by this rifle deal an additional +5 damage to larger enemies. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna give this one a shot. Seems like a really good rifle. Fatigued? When did you get this? Okay, succeeded. The unknown captain's body has been preserved thanks to the properties of the local troposphere. Traces of inky secretions are visible on his skin, evidence of poisoning by a rare Drukhari toxin. Time-worn Imperium breastplates and chainswords are gleaming amid the mummified remains. Why isn't some of this stuff showing up on our log? Okay, so we can go back the way we came, or we can take one of these 2 paths. Oh, we have been to this map. Okay, I think we know our pathway back then, unless it changes.
That Nomos thing was talking to me. It's weird. Kind of creepy. But it's harmless enough. And very curious.
Heresy attracts heresy. Why am I not surprised?
Be nice, Argenta. Alright, when we got to the split, we went left to get to the... I think we went left to get to the town, right? Oh, this got us there. Okay. Nice. Take your time, guys. Everything happened just as Speaks with Gods foresaw. The Starborn are back, and with them our... Enough of your bleeding old hag. I already told you your speech offends me so, and makes me want to cut out your tongue. Caligos waves the woman away and turns his flinty gaze on Speaks with Gods. I am sick and tired of aimlessly trudging through the woods, old man. I am a hunter, and without a quarry, I turn into quite the beast. Humbly covering his eyes, the priest nods silently. Speaks with Gods is ready to conduct the ritual, O Starborn. The heart of the forest is calling out to me, so let the priest serve as gods, not in word, but in deed. It is done. This good-for-nothing psycho has finally proved himself useful. Winterscale looks around the settlement with a bored expression. I intend to have a good night's sleep and enjoy the local delicacies. One good thing about Quetzaltemer is that the fruit here is sweeter than Calixian honey, and more tender than the meat of a young grox. You should get some rest as well, Vernacular, and remember it is better to go hunting when you are full of vigor, but slightly hungry. The hunger adds acuity. Makes the kill more intoxicating, you know? Let me know when you are ready to depart, or if you decide to share a few stories, then come to the bonfire. It's not often that two rogue traders can indulge in confidences, away from prying ears. Winterscale sardonically clicks his tongue and nonchalantly salutes you in farewell. Okay. The priest performed the ritual. Now the way through the forest is clear. Caligos Winterscale has proposed to finish the hunt before returning to the ships, which I'm assuming we'll be able to stop for Yurliet. Find the Eldari in the forest. Convinced that the place from revisions is located somewhere on the surface of Quetzaltemer. Okay, yeah, we still got plenty to do here. Alright. I'm gonna make a hard save. I'm worried about messing up some of these side quests, you know? Okay, can't talk to any of them. Nope, not even Wharton. Caligos. A nice walk that, wasn't it, Vernacular? You may have helped us navigate the living forest clutches. Don't let it go to your head. I would have managed by myself sooner or later. You were there for 30 days. I came in and saved your ass in one. How dare you? Winterscale chuckles and repeats. Sooner or later. I have some questions to ask of you. One day you too will grow sick of all the talking, and then you too will choose shooting Xenos on a wild planet over endless intrigue. Cheerful notes ring in Caligos' voice. Fine, we have plenty of time, so be it. I will give you a private audience. If dear Cora knew how close-knit we had become, she would have surely branded us conspirators. Okay. Let us discuss the Eldari? Let's start here. I saw the corpse of your seneschal at the forest camp. The old man was a weakling. That is why he is dead. That's what happens when you can no longer fulfill your duty to your master. Wharton grins in contempt, his entire being expressing his disdain for the seneschal. Awareness succeeded. Caligos carries himself with an air of indifference, but the sudden furrows of his forehead betray his regret. Many fine warriors have perished on this hunt. Raise a toast to their name when you can. Okay, the Eldari. You care about them that much, new blood? Caligos bellows in disdain. Go ahead then, try to convince me that the vile Xeno scum deserve the mercy of Caligos Winterscale. But remember, you only get one chance to try. Okay. We're good at talking though. Like, we built our character for this shit. Let's see. Their craft will perish at the hands of my dynasty. Make amends. I think we need to try and do some kind of persuasion here. And even with our high oh, that one's 100. Okay. Okay, number 5 there is interesting. I think that we only have that option because of the way that we ended that. I wonder if this option wouldn't have been there if we had... Yeah, interesting. Okay. I think, let's see, if you were to agree, you would have a rogue trader in the head of a powerful dynasty in your debt. I don't love the implications of that one, but it is 100%. Oh, frankly, your desperation excites me, Vernacular. It even makes me want to know whether you are driven by foolishness or treachery and cruel calculation. Winterscale looks at you appraisingly, scratching his chin. Well, I'm quite curious to see how large a dagger you might stab me with. I shall think on your offer, but that is the only promise you will get from me. Okay. How about you stop calling me New Blood, though? He laughs openly. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Wait around for a couple of decades, New Blood, and let others get used to you. It is not often that we have a fresh new rogue trader in our circle. I hear that you have decided to oppose both the Lord Inquisitor and the Korda dynasty. A void kraken may eat them both, for all I care. Winterscale makes a wry face and clenches his fists in anger, acting as if their war on heresy in the Expanse is just starting. I'd been living it for decades, and I don't need an inquisitorial preacher. I certainly don't need Incendia's good one. Okay, tell me about your planet. Your inquiries are curious, to be sure. Quetzalcoatl is a planet with a rather dreary backstory. A long time ago, it supplied my great-grandfather with tons of succulent fruits and thousands of cargo containers filled with a special building fiber, processed from the local forests. The population all lived in large cities, a safe distance away from the tangled paths and trees. Then this quiet life was dashed by Xenos raids. They burned down the cities and shackled our people faster than our ships could help. In the end, the local government ran away, leaving the remaining people at the beast's mercy. And the people in turn fled the big cities that attracted the Xenos. That is how the forests that the rabble feared became their salvation. The planet fell into decay. There was no one to populate the cities, and there was no one to extract resources. Quetzalcoatl expected 3 new arcs filled with settlers to arrive from the Imperium, but in 500 years not one of them has reached the Expanse. Do not turn your gaze to me, Elentak. It was not my kin who desolated this world. Okay, how did you survive all this time? The forests of Quetzalcoatl are not like the jungles of Catacan, New Blood. The only thing that could kill you here is your own stupidity, or an unfortunate coincidence in the form of a stray Xenos or a rare predator. Rainwater for breakfast, nutritious larvae for lunch, fermented fruit in place of wine for supper. One could not wish for better hunting grounds. Caligo laughs, then falls silent, evidently unwilling to share the details. I mean, the dude knows how to survive, I'll give him that. Like, you gotta respect his ability to just survive in the worst of circumstances. I've noticed that your people look utterly woe-begone, while you do not have a single scratch on you. That means that my people are weaklings, and I shall change that soon. As for me, I have been of stout constitution since the day I was born. At first, Caligo shrugs his shoulders indifferently, but after looking closer at his companions, he raises his brows in surprise. It seems that the rogue trader just realized the validity of your words. Okay. I need just a little bit more time. His gaze dulls. The thrill of the hunt is an unfamiliar concept to you, I see. I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
Keep your wits about you.
He is the only one we can talk to, yeah? Oh, Dweller of the Forest here. Okay, nothing interesting there. She who leads forward. Nothing there. Okay. How about you? Speaks with gods. Speaks with gods welcomes you, Starborn. His violet eyes are reverently trained on you. How can Speaks with gods help you this time? Can you lead us to something for Adira, maybe? Tell me about yourself, old man. Speaks with gods is the name of this humble servant of the forest, rivers, and mountains. For when the two-headed eagle god speaks, the servant listens and recounts the words to his tribe, and the tribe carries out his will. The old man closes his eyes and his body sways to the rustling of the leaves and babbling of the stream. This servant of dreams, nightmares, and reveries can see things that others cannot see. What has transpired and what is yet to be, your appearance in the heart of the forest, and the priest falters for a moment, the consequences it bears for Quetzaltemer. What consequences am I coming? The Sky Herald stands at the crossroads. I see all of his choices and see none of them. But the servant knows one thing clearly: the Starborn must go to the Deadlands to destroy the one who should have been long dead. Suddenly, the old man throws his head back. His body shudders, and droplets of blood burst from between his clenched teeth. Ugh. The sunset rays will paint the heart of the forest crimson if the darkness leaves it. Hold on. The sunset rays will paint the heart of the forest crimson if the darkness leaves it. The darkness in this case has always been referring to the Eldari, right? And the two stars will part, then meet again. Huh. Crimson, crimson. The fading light can still be saved. The priest covers his face with his hands and breathes slowly, finally coming to his senses. Forgive this servant, Sky Herald. The waking dreams are often the most painful. Weird. That is strange. I can't see or hear anything from the other side. I'll go ahead and say it since nobody else wants to. I don't like this one bit. So if the darkness leaves the forest, something bad will happen? I thought it was usually the other way around. Okay, so we want to help the Eldari here. Tell me about Leads Ahead. Leads Ahead is the half-sister of this servant of smoke, fire, and ash. She was the first to emerge from the mother's womb, and thus named the next ruler of the tribe, and the servant was the shield to fend off disasters from his ruler. Many years later, when the gift of the eagle god awakened inside this servant, Leads Ahead named her brother the priest of her tribe. Okay, and tell me about the tribe? We are the children of the fiery mother and the pale father, who look after us by day and guard us by night. The faithful servants of the two-headed eagle god who shields our lands from misfortune with his wings. We are the ungone forest-dwelling children of the earth and the guardians of the temple of Quetzaltemer, the first starborn to have ever set foot on the virgin soil of this land. Your way of speaking is strange. He looks down, embarrassed. Forgive the servants of Quetzaltemer for their speech, O Starborn. No matter how much the ancestors tried to pass the language of the gods on to their descendants, the tribes seldom use it, for the gods only descend from their heavenly palace not more often than once in 3 life dwells. Okay, did the ritual truly make the forest safe? He nods affirmatively. The spirits from the darkness brought the fire rain down on Quetzaltemer, killing many of the tribes who had cared for the forest's young and ancient. This blasphemy enraged the guardian spirits, but as soon as this servant of the wind, rain, and sand soothed them with the ritual sacrifices and divine sorcery, their wrath gave way to mercy. Okay, did you not foresee this in your visions? The dreams come and go, Sky Herald of the faraway stars. Sometimes this servant of the gods can understand the mystical visions of the days of old or the future, but even speaks with gods cannot fully comprehend the divine designs of the two-headed eagle god. Sometimes I am blind even when I can see. Do you know that sorcery such as yours is punishable by death in the Imperium? He is deep in thought. Imperium, this servant of the stars, clouds, and eclipses does not know this word. The priest's sorcery is a gift from the two-headed eagle god. How can his gift be condemned by mortals? Idir almost snorts with delight. If only the holy folk of the ecclesiarchy could hear that, equating our unclean powers with the God Emperor's blessing. That's brilliant, just brilliant. The absurdity of this old man's words hides nothing but snow-white reverence. He has no intention of offending the Emperor. There is only a golden glow in his heart akin to that of his most faithful followers. You seem like a good man, even if you are an unsanctioned psyker. The old man smacks his lips, pleased with the praise. Blessed is a life that serves the two-headed eagle god and his sky heralds. Okay, how did you and Winterscale survive all of this time? The starborn who carries the seal of Quetzaltemer's descendant is strong in both body and will, as befits a god. This servant, like the rest of his entourage, had grown weak on just the 7th night of our journey, but the starborn continued to lead us fearlessly, pressing forward to seek out the spirits from the darkness, even among the twisted paths, delivering the sky's judgment. This servant of the grass, flowers, and trees regrets only the imminent death of the starborn's companion, the one you call the seneschal. He quarreled with the ironclad guardian, and his words enraged the starborn, and thus he slashed the unfortunate man's body up with his axe. Oh damn. and threw the remains to the wild animals of Quetzaltimur for them to feast on. So, tough guy killed him, sounds like. So he pissed off Winterscale and, what's his face? What is his name? Where is he? Can't check right now. And they just killed him, huh? You mean to say that Winterscale killed a seneschal? This servant saw everything with his own 2 eyes. The old man pauses in hesitation, then continues. It is not proper, perhaps, for a mere speck of dirt under the heels of the sky herald of the 2-eagled god to muse upon the deep. However, this servant did sense, with his entire being, the rage that possessed the Starborn at that moment, and the ironclad guardian reveled in his god's wrath. Okay, so the ironclad guardian is Winterscale. Gotcha. I thought it was his other companion. Ironclad guardian. I suppose you mean the Caligo Winterscale's arch-military. Okay, never mind. It was him. Okay. They're just trying to confuse me. Wharton the Grey seemed dangerous to me even on our first meeting. But our time together spent wandering through the forest cemented this notion. May the 2-headed eagle god shelter you under his wing, O Sky Herald. Okay. So Wharton murdered their seneschal. I want to talk to him. Alright.
I always have a backup plan.
Next thing up is to follow Winterscale into the forest and see what we can do about convincing him not to kill the Eldari. My suspicion is that maybe our persuasion worked on Winterscale, but I wonder if Wharton's gonna do something crazy. And when push comes to shove, I wouldn't be surprised if Winterscale ends up siding with Wharton if he does something crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised if this all ends with Winterscale having to die. But we'll just have to see. Maybe we'll find out in the next episode. So, thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Anna Kate the Great, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Doughty, Timothy Jansen, Skip, Daniel, Yell, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.